Hey everybody, Johnny Corbin. I'm pretty excited. I got a shipment of Corbin Pros in. We unloaded the truck on Friday. I've spent about 15 or 20 minutes with this particular guitar. Never played this model before, and I'm going to walk you through what I've discovered already. This guitar is called the MDG 705, T for thin, C for cutaway, and E for electric. I don't really consider this an acoustic guitar, even though it has a AAA solid top Sitka Spruce soundboard, and it is solid back and sides. And it's a beautiful guitar. It's got a lot of abalone, both on the trim, bridge pins, around the wood motif on the sound hole. It does come with locking tuners, and I'll show you the back, but it's kind of awkward the way I'm sitting here. The back is gorgeous. It's just a beautiful wire. Maybe we can do this. There you go. Nice piece of abalone going down there, and end pin jack. And what's really nice about this guitar, and if I repeated myself, I'm sorry, I don't consider this really an acoustic. This is really an acoustic electric, and it leans more towards an electric guitar. That's my opinion at the moment, and I like it for that. It's a great guitar for a songwriter to sit at home late at night and sit and play, write their tune on. It's a great guitar for performance, and because it's light, it's comfortable, it's under a 24-inch scale, nice fretwork, and just a good sounding guitar. So here's what I would suggest. If you are purchasing one of these, or you have purchased one of these, the first thing that I did was I played with the pickup. The pickup is pretty cool. It also takes there's a little learning curve, a little experimentation. And I have worked with these before, and these types of pickups, and I have found that once you dial it in, once you get the sweet spot, you're pretty much done with it. It stays where it is. So, but there is a process in the beginning. For me, the process, number one, is understanding the pickup. This has a magnetic pickup like a regular electric guitar. It does have adjustable pull pieces, so I can balance the level of the strings. I haven't done any of that. This is pretty much out of the box. One big thing that I did do, because I didn't like the sound initially, I took the pickup out, flipped it around, and I moved it back. So instead of being mounted up here close to the end of the fingerboard, I moved it back here, and I could probably still go back a little further with it. I can also angle the pickup to adjust, just like you would on a Stratocaster pickup, how they're angled, to compensate for the brightness in the bass. So we have a magnetic pickup, which they refer to as the Coil. Then we have sensors built into the top, so you can do percussive type things or tapping, and or just dial in more of that piezo type sound. It's a sensor on the top of the guitar, on the underside. The controls consist of a master volume, a master tone control, a phase switch, which makes a lot of difference. You'll have to play with that for your own taste. And it also has a volume control for the coil and a volume control for the sensor. So here's what I recommend, and this is just with my first 15 minutes of playing with this. I would turn the volume all the way up. That's right here. So there's no volume, just the guitar. I'm gonna reach in here. Now also, when I flipped the pickup, to me it just makes more sense because I can actually look in and see the labeling for the controls. So that's something I'll discuss with Gerhardt maybe when we ship these. We'll do that. Okay, so master volume, And I'm just going to leave that all the way up. By the way, I'm playing through a Quilter Micro Pro Mach 2, and I got a little bit of reverb on it, and it's on the smooth setting. Bass is tweaked up a little bit, mid-range is down just a little bit, treble is up just a little bit. But the guitar, really nice and balanced. Okay, so the next control I have on here is a master tone control, and it's pretty wide ranging. So I can go from kind of thin, midway up, and a little more bass. Obviously a big difference between my fingers or a pick. But the guitar is nice and full. I'm pretty loud, and I'm not getting any feedback. The next control that I would work with is the magnetic pickup, and it's labeled Coil, and it's the bottom knob on the inside here. Now I can turn the coil completely off, and right now I have the sensor turned all the way down. So I would work with this just as an acoustic guitar pickup first. Master volume all the way up, turn the coil at this point all the way up. I'm gonna back that down just a little, and then adjust the tone to where you want it. Okay? That way you get a sound and a feel that you're already used to. An acoustic guitar with a pickup in it, and you can dial in the sounds you want. Now, when you dial in this sensor, it can create a dramatic change in the overall sound and feel of the guitar. So to me, the whole secret to this is your own experimenting with the phase switch that's built into the bottom of the pickup. It's a little button. And the coil. I'm sorry, not the coil, but the sensor switch. And I'm going to bring the sensor in up here. You can start to hear that come in, okay? So it thins it out quite a bit, because what it's really doing, you know, it's listening to this sensor. So the secret, I believe, to this is finding the balance with the coil and the sensor. To me, that's a little too dry. I've got some percussion. We'll play with the tone here just a second. Now I have some tap. Don't have any feedback. I'm literally sitting in front of my amplifier. And I think I have a pretty nicely balanced sound. Now, for my own taste, I really like a warm sounding guitar. But if you're playing out with a group or other musicians, you need an instrument that'll cut through. But I can warm this up quite a bit. I can take a little bit of the piezo out. Finger picking. And I still have some sensitivity to the top. Some other things I would look at, and these are my own personal thoughts, is we ship our guitars into the States now with two different saddles. This is the factory saddle, and we have an alternate saddle that is 1 millimeter shorter. For my own taste, I would probably install that, because I want this to play more like an electric guitar. Okay? But that's a personal preference. We do the higher saddle out of the factory, because these guitars ship all over Asia all over the United States. And it's easier to lower the saddle than it is to raise a saddle. So we ship them with the standard saddle, and we supply them here in the U.S. with a slightly less tall saddle. The other thing I would consider changing are the strings. The factory approaches this guitar as an acoustic guitar. I approach this guitar more of an electric acoustic guitar. And the strings that are on it are D'Addario extended play, and they sound great. They tune great. This guitar has been tuned one time and touched up a little bit, and it literally came out of the box. Very stable. So I might consider changing these strings to maybe a D'Addario string that is slightly burnished. I don't know if I would go to the chromes, the flats. I'll have to research that. I have had really good success with a string from a company called GHS, and they call them nickel rockers. And they have a little higher tension to them. They respond really well when you pick on them. They sound very good, and they have far less finger noise. They're not really a flat wound string. They're not like a D'Addario chrome or Tomastic flat wound. They run the string through some type of a press, and it slightly flattens out the roundness so you don't get as much of that. And again, they're also nickel. They're not phosphor bronze. And I use them on several of my guitars, and I think they would work on here really well. So maybe one of the future videos, when we tweak this in a little bit more, I'll change the saddle out. I may put a set of nickel rockers on it, or a comparable D'Addario set, and we'll do another video. So listen, I hope you enjoyed this. This is Johnny Corbin, and I opened this box up and I looked at this, and the first thing I said was, this is going home with me. And it is. I'm here in my home studio, and this guitar is going to make itself at home here with my MDG 810 cedar top that I've been playing for almost 10 years, and absolutely love it. My favorite guitar. So play a little bit of a little blues to take it out here. This guitar is very even sounding. All right. Hey, thanks for listening. Have a good evening.